Getting information about yourself or the state agencies meant to serve you can be tough in Victoria. The number of requests under the state's Freedom of Information scheme is ballooning, and this year is already on track to be higher again. The system is buckling under the pressure.
The Act has outlived its usefulness, it's not fit for purpose, and it's a burden on public sector agencies now.
Is it broken or near breaking point?
If I equate it to some stale bread, bread's past its use-by date, it's fine to toast, you're hungry, you'll eat it, but is it a great meal? Is it sufficient? Is it nutritional? And that's the best way I can put it. The system is, it's not on life support, but in 10 years' time, it may be.
Freedom of information request.
FOI documents.
Freedom of information application.
Freedom of information.
The media and politicians are often thought of when it comes to freedom of information requests, but the majority of applications are actually from individuals wanting information about themselves, like their own hospital records. Health services dominate the list of agencies receiving the most applications.
We need systemic change so that people can get access to their own information quicker, cheaper, potentially free, and with a much more streamlined process. People who are seeking access about their own information is carved out of a formal process, and it's proactively released, or at least informally released after a request. It's a simple ask, and subject to some minimal exemptions if there's concerns about the person's health or safety receiving that, they should receive it in full.
Do you think that will happen?
I'm confident we will get some change in that area during my term, or at least an intention to that change.
The Office of the Victorian Information Commissioner, or OVIC, deals with the complaints and conducts reviews when documents aren't released or requests are significantly delayed, which has become increasingly common. Does OVIC have the power to be addressing this with agencies, or is OVIC a bit of a toothless tiger in that regard?
We're not a toothless tiger, but we have sought more powers. Our tool is mostly a name and shame, and that works in the current environment, but I don't think it gets specific outcomes for individuals as best as it could.
And what sort of powers in terms of the ability to compel them? How would it function?
I think there needs to be some kind of punitive element for not following what is a requirement under law. So I think there is holding agency heads to account through some kind of punitive mechanism. Now, I'm definitely not talking jail terms. And then it is getting specific outcomes for individuals. So if they've waited 180 days for a request to be processed, ordering that it needs to be processed within a certain time.
The penalties could include sanctions or fines, but the Commissioner says the overall system must be improved first.
The punitive elements would only be used for the most abhorrent conduct where people are deliberately misleading or trying to undermine the purpose of the Act.
Trust in governments and institutions has been falling globally, which could be contributing to the jump in demand.
With all of the noise now, sometimes going to the source and seeking the foundational documents or information is the only way to get to the truth of the matter.
A parliamentary committee has investigated the issues and recommended a wholesale rewriting of the laws to introduce a new system. The government is yet to respond. Is this state government more secretive than those we've seen in the past?
No, definitely not. I wouldn't say any particular government is being more secretive. I think it's just that FOI requests are becoming more complex, applicants are becoming savvier, and that's where the challenge lies.
Do you think there will be political will to reform the system?
The government's response to the Integrity and Oversight Committee's report is due soon, we understand. That may be extended. I would hope there would be. There seems to be, from the whole political spectrum, an acknowledgement that the system needs to be modernised. So I think that there is political will. It's just where does it sit in the order of priorities of political will?